Genetics, language, and archaeology, do they reveal the hidden truth about the origins of the ancient Egyptians? Afrocentrism and Ancient Egypt. 10 key points. 1. Genetic evidence. One of the strongest scientific responses came in 2017 through a study by the Max Planck Institute for the Science of Human History in Germany. Researchers analyzed the DNA of ancient Egyptian mummies and found that ancient Egyptians were genetically closer to the peoples of the Eastern Mediterranean and North Africa than to populations from sub-Saharan Africa. The study also showed strong genetic continuity between ancient and modern Egyptians, meaning that modern Egyptians are largely descendants of the people who built ancient Egyptian civilization. 2. The meaning of Kemet. Some Afrocentric arguments claim that the ancient name of Egypt, Kemet, means land of black people. However, Egyptologists and linguists explain that Kemet actually referred to the Black Land, meaning the fertile dark soil of the Nile Valley, in contrast to Deshret, the Red Land, which referred to the surrounding desert. The term described the land itself, not the skin color of its people. 3. Misunderstanding Egyptian art. Ancient Egyptian art was symbolic, not realistic photography. The color black often symbolized fertility, rebirth, and the rich Nile soil. That is why gods like Osiris were sometimes painted black or green. Egyptians also painted neighboring peoples differently. Nubians with darker skin, Asians with lighter skin and beards, Libyans with tattoos and feathers. This shows that ancient Egyptians clearly distinguished themselves from surrounding populations. 4. Applying modern race categories to the ancient world. One major mistake is trying to apply modern racial categories like black and white to ancient Egypt. These racial concepts are relatively modern and did not exist in the ancient world the way they do today. Ancient Egyptians identified themselves mainly through their land, culture, and civilization, not through modern racial classifications. 5. The myth of population replacement. Some claim that after the Arab Islamic conquest, the original Egyptians disappeared and were replaced entirely by Arabs. Historically and demographically, this idea does not make sense. The number of Arab settlers was small compared to Egypt's large native population. Languages and religions can change over time, but entire populations do not simply vanish overnight. 6. The origins of Afrocentrism. Afrocentrism in the United States partly emerged as a response to the trauma of slavery and the loss of ancestral identity among African Americans. Instead of focusing on the rich civilizations of West Africa, such as Mali, Songhai, and Benin, some groups chose to connect themselves to ancient Egypt because it is one of the most famous and well-documented civilizations in history. 7. From academic debate to media industry. Over time, many Afrocentric historical claims face strong criticism from Egyptologists and historians. As a result, some discussions shifted from academic debate into media and entertainment, where historical controversies are sometimes used for political influence, identity politics, or commercial attention. 8. The Egyptian language. Ancient Egyptian belonged to the Afro-Asiatic language family, which also includes Arabic, Hebrew, and Amazigh languages. It is not closely related to the Niger-Congo language family spoken across much of West and Central Africa. If there had been a direct historical connection, stronger linguistic similarities would likely exist. 9. The importance of historical accuracy. Discussions about history and identity can easily become emotional or political. That is why it is important to approach these topics through evidence, archaeology, linguistics, and genetics, rather than ideology or modern political narratives. 10. Egypt as a unique civilization. Ancient Egypt should not be Europeanized or racialized using modern categories. Egypt was a unique Nile civilization shaped by North Africa, the Middle East, and the Mediterranean world. Modern Egyptians are not strangers to this civilization. They are its historical and cultural continuation.